A little girl played in her front yard with her close friend Mariah, both prancing about with broad smiles. Born only a few months apart and meeting before either girl reached 1 year old, they had known each other for nearly their entire lives. The little girl thought nothing could tear their friendship apart, but she did not realize the news coming her way. As the girl entered the room, she became aware of the teary and red faces surrounding the room. Whether it was her mother, father, or sister who told her the news, she did not know. They said, "We are leaving PNG, but this time we're not coming back." Water pooled in the little girl's eyes until it all cascaded in a waterfall down her face. She would never see Papua New Guinea again. She would never see Mariah again, and it devastated her. She dreaded the day of her family's departure. That day finally came as they started packing the bags into the van. When it came time to drive off to the airport and everyone finished saying their goodbyes, the little girl tightly wrapped her arms around her friend, not wanting to ever let go. "Bye," Mariah whispered. "I'll miss you." "I'll miss you too," the little girl responded, tearing up. They stood there hugging for a few minutes until the little girl's parents told her they had to leave. The little girl and her family got in the car and drove off down the main road, out of the center, and towards Port Moresby. The girl watched as the distance between her and the closest friend she had ever known grew until she boarded a plane headed for Bali, Indonesia. The family stayed there for a week, riding elephants, eating native cuisine, and hanging out with other missionary families on their way back to America. Then they boarded a plane going to China and then finally to the United States of America. She would end up almost 8,197 miles away from her home in Mariah. The little girl and her family moved into a house in College Station, Texas. The family arrived in the summer. They watched the 4th of July fireworks crack and boom in the night sky and went swimming in the nicest swimming pool the little girl had ever seen. But she still felt nervous about the upcoming school year. Going into the 4th grade, she did not know anyone at South Knoll, the elementary school she would now attend. "Will I make friends? Will I be bullied like on TV shows?" she wondered, along with many other things. The little girl would just have to wait for the first day of school to find out. When the first day of school finally came around, the little girl walked into her classroom scanning for her place to sit. When the teacher showed her to her spot, the little girl sunk into her chair, wishing she had the ability to disappear. Then she heard this kind voice introduce herself from next to her. "Hi, I'm Julia." And because the little girl's nervous and shy demeanor, she just simply replied, "Hello." Julia made a point of getting to know the little girl, and that made the little girl really happy and more at home in this new place. The little girl knew she wanted this sweet girl that welcomed her as her friend. Julia went on to become the little girl's best friend of 6 years now. They helped each other through middle school and silly crushes and stressful assignments and grades. Though the young girl felt devastated by the loss of her childhood friend and home and still misses them to this day, she learned that all things work together for good. Even though she lost a best friend, Mariah, in the move to America, she gained a new one, Julia. Maybe living in the United States would not turn out so bad.